Welcome everyone to the 2020 Kia Optima. This is a car, and frankly that's about all there is to say about it. This car is about $24,000, doesn't have a lot of options, and it's a way of getting from A to B. So we're gonna see how it does, just taking on a little drive, a few miles, seeing how it does. Now, the first thing I notice is this car is, like I said, very much a car. It doesn't have any gimmicks, it doesn't have any weirdness to it. This is very much built to be a way of getting around that's comfortable, it's efficient, and just does a very good job at that. It's not the most luxuriously appointed way, it's not the most expensive way, it's just a comfortable way that will get you where you're going affordably. And I'm starting off here in a little bit of a twisty road, not nothing that you'd want to be carving up, but just something that's a little more fun to drive than your average road. The Optima just manages it. I am kind of surprised at how high this engine is revving most of the time. It gets a little bit drony. I'm not going all that fast. I'm doing just about the speed limit and just cruising along. We were spinning at about 2,500 RPM, and there was a surprising amount of engine noise from that. All right, taking a few little corners through here, but going through these corners, again, this definitely is not a sports car by any measure. This isn't a car that's meant to be, fun through here. But it's not bad by any measure. The steering feels responsive, even though you don't get as much feedback as I might like. The real issue is getting up these hills, and I think you probably just heard that little downshift right there. This is a 4-cylinder with about 185 horsepower, and frankly, I'm not sure that's enough for a car this size. Apart from that, I think one of the bigger problems, because I've noticed this in other cars that have these, now that we're going towards these smaller turbocharged 4-cylinder engines, the cars just, if you're in the wrong gear, you just have no power, and you're sitting there mashing your foot down, praying that you're going to get something out of it. In terms of ride quality, this isn't the smoothest road in the world, but I'm not getting jarred around, I'm not hearing a bunch of stuff shaking and rattling, and that's very good for a car that is just meant to get you to and from work. Now, the Optima doesn't actually, on Kia's website at least, show any real options. It's more of a, what trim do you want, what colors do you want, and it just sort of goes from there, from what I can see. And for some people that's very good, because you just show up, you have a handful of price points, one for each trim level, you get what you get, and there's no more BS jumping around, oh I want this, or oh I want that. No, you know what you're getting, and it's done, which is nice. But at the same time, if you are the sort of person who is wanting very specific options and not wanting others, might not be the car for you. But then again, if you're that particular about options, you're probably not the buyer for a Kia like this anyway. But talking about options and equipment, this car does have the blind spot monitors, it has a quite nice backup camera, it has a decently large touchscreen. Let's see, it does have cloth seats, which is kind of surprising to me in a car that has a camera like that and all the blind spots, but I think that's less a testament to cost cutting and more a testament to what Kia is putting into their cars at this price point, even on their what would be the base trim. Surprisingly, this car even has a lane keep assist. Thankfully, I haven't had any real need to use it while I've been driving this car, but it is nice to know that it is there for you. In terms of build quality, the Kia, you know what you're getting into when you're buying a car like this. The plastics, they do feel cheap, but then you look at the screen, you look at some of the touches here on the steering wheel or down there in the control stack, and you do forgive them a little bit because this is a car that comes in at under $25,000, and even though the dash plastics and the actual wheel here do not feel as nice as some of the other cars might in this price point, I can't really call it the end of the world, and frankly I don't think most buyers would call it that either. Currently the car is showing a 434 mile range on a full tank, which is again quite nice for a car that is just a work commuter. Now on the higher trim levels, they do have the adaptive cruise, the leather seats, and all the other sort of bells and whistles that we would expect in a car from today. But again, base trim, how much do you really expect for $24,000? And frankly, while this wouldn't be my choice of a car in this price point, being that I am someone who tends to be a little more drive oriented, I don't think this is a bad car by any measure. I think if you are the kind of person who just needs to get from A to B, doesn't want anything with a big badge on the front, doesn't really care about if their daily driver is going to be thrilling on a twisty road like I was on earlier, this is really a good car for you. I'm sure it sounds like I'm fumbling a lot for words right now, but frankly, when I said earlier that the Kia Optima is a car, I wasn't kidding. That is about the best thing that I can come up with to describe this car. It is a car. It serves a purpose of getting someone from A to B, and it does that very well. One of the things that I do really like about these Korean cars these days, whether it's Hyundai or Kia, is the warranty that is being offered now. You know, back 20 years ago, these cars were seen as really scraping the bottom of the barrel, the cheapest thing you could get, and they really showed it. Even when it came time to take it for a service or try and, use it past a certain mileage. But now with these longer warranties that they're offering, these cars become a lot better value proposition. And I think that's a really critical point for this car. Now I've reached the end of the road. I had intended to go into the parking lot here to give you a few exterior photos, but it gives me a chance to test the turning radius and the turnaround. And again, not a bad one. Oh, damn, we are going into the sun though, so hopefully let's see if we can get a little... Nope, that's not going to work. Well, now that we've turned around, this touchscreen in the center, it's not bad. It isn't, the prettiest thing in the world. It's not the most loaded thing in the world with all the little gizmos that one might want. But again, price point, very good, does the job well. Yeah, the shiftable automatic, it works, and you can use it. You can drop it down, if you can hear that, and it will give you the power, and it'll change as you want it, and it's surprisingly responsive, especially to compare it to where these sort of shiftable automatics were a few years ago. But it just doesn't feel natural in this car, and my best guess is that this probably came out of one of their more sporty models, and it's just they use the same gearbox, same gear lever. I mean, it's what I would do if I wanted to save a little money as Kia. I think that has just about wrapped up everything there is to say about the 2020 Kia Optima. I said it from the get-go, I said it a few minutes ago, and I'm going to say it again. This is a car to get you to work, get you home, get you around. It's not meant to be an enthusiast car. It's not meant to be a luxury car. It's not meant to do any of that stuff. It's just meant to be a car. And as a car, it works. You can talk all day about, Mercedes has these beautiful interiors, or BMW so sporty, and all that other kind of bullshit. At the end of the day, does the car get you from A to B, and will it get you from A to B? The answer to that here in the Optima is absolutely yes. It may not be my personal pick, like I mentioned before, but if somebody was... Oh, there goes the gearbox. I'm going up a bit of a hill now. But if you are somebody who is in the market and has about $25,000 to spend on a new car, this is not a bad choice. Now, I hope this has been informative to you if you are considering the 2020 Kia Optima in your car search, or even if you're just watching this for entertainment from the new 2020 Optima. If you did enjoy this content, I have a link below to my article on this car over on Drive Tribe, where I'll be a little more eloquent in my descriptions and just, catching any little details that I've missed on, pricing options and all that sort of thing. So I do hope you will come back and check out what videos are to come, because hopefully the next video will be in something a little faster and a little more Italian. Take care.